again, comic addicts. Joe with Black Box Silver and Bronze. If you watched my last video, you might have heard the doorbell ring when I was filming because this got dropped off. Let's find out what's in here. Those two boxes were from my comic shop. I was buying my comics at my LCS on a pull list, and they stopped using pull lists because too many people were leaving their books behind. So I tried getting them weekly off the shelf, and I was missing comics I wanted to get. And I started using the pre-order list at my comic shop to get the new subscriptions so I wouldn't miss anything. Then I found out that you could purchase back issue comics and piggyback on your subscription to save on shipping. So I get it sent out to me once a month. They have weekly sales. I just throw things into my shopping cart and leave it there. And then when it comes on sale, if I still want it, I pull the trigger. So this haul I'm about to show you is going to have some new comics and then some back issue comics. So one of the new comics I'm reading is The Immortal Hulk. This is the last issue of the run. It ends with issue 50. Alex Ross has been doing all the covers, the main covers, and they're just gorgeous. Here's another example of a beautiful Alex Ross cover. Looking forward to reading that and seeing how it ends. And I did pick up also the Just Go variant cover because I do like Hulk thing battles. I'm not reading Fantastic Four, but Just Go did a thing cover, and I love that with the old blue eyes. Looks good. And I'm reading Spider-Man, although I'm going to stop here with this issue. And this is the Just Go variant like that with Green Goblin there. Another series that I read regularly once per year is Star Wars Adventures by IDW, because every October they come out with this Vader's Castle 5 issues. Each week in October, a new issue comes out, and this is an anthology horror series. Of course, it's aimed for kids, so it's not extremely scary or anything, but I always like the stories and hearing the art. And so each October, I pick this up. I've been getting these for the past 3 or 4 years. There's issue number 3. This year, it looks kind of like 50s sci-fi themed stuff. Here's an issue called Beware the Chosen One. And you could see the outline of Darth Vader's helmet was on all of these covers. And that's kind of a theme that happens as well, is that the covers have the silhouette throughout all of them. So just take a look there at Darth Vader. And then if you look carefully here, you can see that the outline of his helmet is there. It's there. It's on all of them. So that's pretty cool. I missed this when it came out. This was the variant cover to Sinister War #1, which I wanted to pick up. This kind of reminds me of the Romita cover where Doc Ock's head is on there, and in his glasses, you see Spider-Man coming at him. So I want to get that one. And then that was it for the new ones this month. I did pick up this issue of Daredevil, number 54. Yeah, 54. I was picking up these David Mack covers before that Echo news hit. And I really like his artwork, and the stories are good too. And I was missing this issue. I think I had 53 and 55, and it's like a 3-issue storyline. So I grabbed that one, and I found an issue of Blade #1. This is one of those 90 bling covers with the shiny stuff on it. I've been looking for this one, and I got it just before it took off. A couple of back issues of Swamp Thing. I just wanted to get this one, the Queen of the Rot, and looks kind of like Alien. And the follow-on issue, which has Anton Arcane in it. These 2 issues look like they had interesting stories that I wanted to read. This one I just picked up because I liked the way the cover looked. I saw somebody post this on Instagram, never heard about it before, but it looked, I love the colors, I love the presentation there, and I'm interested to see what that is about. A couple of covers that have train theme on them. Here's Kings in Disguise. That's number 5. They're sitting inside an old-time passenger car. And this one I really love. Here's issue number 4 from the series. And I love the art on this. Kind of reminds me of like the old 50s war covers by like Joe Maneely. That kind of, you know, with the dark lines in the clothes and shadows on the faces and everything. And I just really love this with all these kind of like hobos around the boxcar. I pick these up whenever I can find them cheap. This is Jack Staff, America's or Britain's greatest hero. And I find these in dollar bins a lot. Sometimes I find them on sale in my comic shop for like $1.80. I pick them up. The series is not that long, but it's really got a neat art style, good stories. And there were 2 series of this. This one is by Dancing Elephant Press. This was the first one. The interiors are in black and white. And then it was run again, a new series, an Image, which was in color. And I am reading both of these. I'm just trying to complete the runs. I picked up this issue of Black Hawk because I like that, the Hitler in the Spotlight cover. In the, just, you know, the yellow and the shadow, the light and the shadow, it's pretty cool. Then I've got this one. This is Lady Crime by AC or Americomics. And I showed another issue from Americomics, which was Presto. So what Americomics does is they're trying to preserve and present great comics from the 40s and 50s. And so this one had a print run of 2,000. There's not a lot of them, but they're not expensive anyway. This one is full of Bob Powell art. And so Lady Crime was kind of the narrator that kind of lured men into committing crimes. And so this was really cool. And not only do they reprint the stories, they're in black and white, but there's also, so the editor writes some information on the history of the artists and the comics and the characters and things like that. So these are really, if you like the history of comics and you want to see some old stuff that maybe you can't find or can't afford, these are good to pick up when you see them. Satellite Sam, pure cover by. This is one of those perspectives of looking at something through the legs. So I have no idea what the story is about, but that was a cover by for that perspective. All-Star Western number 0. This is from the New 52. I pick up these number 0 New 52 comics when I see them inexpensive. I like how the character pops through the cover and you see some of the you know, comics in the background that he's popping through. This one, of course, is Jonah Hex. And I got a couple of Wonder Womans. Here's Wonder Woman number 0. And if you're not familiar with these number 0s, Marvel did a series of comics called -1, and DC did the 0 comics. And so these are ordered in whatever the title is, you know, before the first issue that was released. So this one is Wonder Woman number 0, and it's got a pretty cool cover. I like that. I picked up 4 issues in a row from the second volume of Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman 131. And this is an interesting story arc with John Byrne. There's some time travel. This is issue 131. And the cover of issue 132 is really dope. Look at this one. That is called Dark Angel. And that's pretty cool. The whole cover is just really great. So that's the second issue. They're all tied to the swastika up there. In issue 133, I think they come back to the present time. Haven't read these yet. And then issue 134, yeah, I'm not sure that this is part of that. I think it was a 3-issue story arc. But this one looked really cool. This reminds me of something. I think there may be another cover that looks like this. I know there's that, I think there's a Captain America one where Who's the New Falcon or something like that. It's similar, but this was way before that. So if this reminds you of another cover, if it's an homage cover to something and you know, can you put it in the comments for me, please? I'd like to know, because that looks real familiar. Maybe I'm just thinking about the Who is the New Captain America issue that became real popular. And here's the 80th anniversary issue of Wonder Woman, and that is a Bruce Timm cover. So I am a big fan of Bruce Timm artwork. I just like the style that he does his women in. Another one I have, I got not too long ago, last year maybe, was a Spider-Man issue where the cover was Mary Jane in a go-go outfit. And so I like the Bruce Timm stuff, so I picked that one up. I have a Vampirilla Bruce Timm also. And then, you know, I do like ACG, so here is one of their suspense horror titles called Unknown Worlds. I grabbed this one because it was on sale. Adventures into the Unknown. This is their superhero nemesis. And this has multiple stories in it, suspense, sci-fi stories. But, you know, this was in the 60s. They were trying to compete with, you know, Marvel and all the superhero resurgence. So they threw their superheroes on the cover. That was Nemesis. And then in Forbidden Worlds, it was Magic Man. And I don't really like most of the covers that Magic Man is on. They're just really, they're not that great. This one I do like. I love that that's a sea dragon or sea serpent. I'm not sure what you would call that. It looks like a sea dragon, but it's a great cover. So even though Magic Man is there with his silly turban, that sea dragon is pretty cool. That's Forbidden Worlds number. Sometimes they're hard to find. 131. Here's a Western, Return of the Outlaw #1. Great cover. I love that, the heading with the red bar and then the big white letters on it. This was made by Minoan Publishing, and I don't know too much about it, but it just looked really cool. I love the colors, love the art. Charlton Comics, Geronimo Jones. This is #7. And this is a great issue. It opens up with a big splash page of a witch. And there he is heading towards that haunted house. I got this one. It was on sale cheap. And then I have 2 of them now because just last week I was at a dollar sale, or maybe the week before, and this was in there. So I grabbed it thinking I had bought it, but I wasn't sure. So I got 2 copies, but real nice cover. The Geronimo Jones stories are pretty interesting. Here's another Charlton. I do like the Charlton horror comics. This one is Ghost Manor, and I just thought that was a real neat cover with the split of the red and yellow. I hadn't seen something like that before, so that's pretty cool. A lot of times, some of the titles, like in the, I think the Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, there's a lot of Ditko covers. Not sure who did that one. I got a couple of issues of Harvey Thrillerama. Here's issue #1. The Grand Comics database says this might be a Joe Simon cover. So I'll probably have to ask Jesse Simon, his grandson, if he knows. But this one has the Man in Black, Fate. And that's a pretty cool cover right there. And then I also was able to pick up issue number 3. I have issue number 2 already. Here's issue number 3 with Piranha. And he's kind of like Aquaman, and he's got these fish, Bara and Kuda, that are attacking the human anchor. And that guy down here is Brainstorm, one of the smartest criminals. These are hilarious Silver Age fare, and I do enjoy those. I am retired from the Navy, and I love getting the Navy covers, Navy comics, and reading about them, whether it's Fighting Navy, Navy Patrol, Navy Action, all of them. The Charlton Fighting Navies, there's 60 of them. This is issue number 93. And I have 40 out of the 60 now, having gotten this one. I can usually find these for like $3. Some of them, maybe $5, some of the older ones, $5, but you know, not in the greatest condition, but all complete in there. And some of the action on the covers are just really cool. So this is a cool one. This is Treasure Chest. Oh, Fighting Navy here. I put, no, not that one. Piranha. Back to Piranha. I forgot to flip this around and show you this great ad on the back for Batman model kits. And what does it say? Holy hobby kits. I showed this to my daughter. She likes looking at my comics with me. And we watched the Batman 66 TV show together. And I showed her this. I said, isn't that cool? She said, yeah, but that's not what Batman would say. That's what Robin would say. And when I thought about it, she's right. Here's a treasure chest of fun and facts. This is from 1948. It's number 17 of volume 3. This ran for a long time. There's over like 400 issues of this. And there's interesting history behind this. There are great stories in here. It's a comic book throughout, and it's multiple stories. And this was put out by, I think it was called the Catholic Catechetical Guild. And these were free comics, usually given to students in Catholic schools. And the idea behind this was they were creating comics which covered historical stories, patriotic stories, biographies. They were trying to create a healthy comic alternative to some of the horror comics and crime comics that children were reading. So they came out with this, and there's really great stories in here. I bought this one particularly for the cover when I saw that it's got that perspective I like, looking through the legs. This is a Phantom comic. I'm a big fan of the Phantom. And since I was a child, I would read anything Phantom. I really like what he does, how he protects people. And, basically he's just kind of a man who through time, the generations have passed it along and kept it going. He's called the Ghost Who Walks. He's got a dog named, I think, Wolf. And so this is from Frew. That's an Australian comic. And they ran Phantom for a very long time. In fact, they may still be doing it. I don't know. There's loads and loads of issues of this. And, every once in a while I find one for a good price. I pick it up. This one, I don't know if they're all like this, but I did notice when I was bagging this one that this has a beautiful kind of wraparound cover. I'm not sure if it's wraparound because I don't see his, shoulder continuing there, but it's very cool artwork. Here's an issue of 3D Substance. This is Ray Zone was making those 3D comics, and this one is Steve Ditko. You could probably tell Steve Ditko did a lot of those psychedelic covers, and this has a really neat back cover too. And so the idea behind this is, would it be okay to provide information to convict criminals when the information was gathered illegally. And so it wasn't the police doing it. They had to follow the rules. But there was this guy who, when he was moving, he could be invisible. And what if he could get the information through illegal methods and then, provide it so that they could convict criminals? That's the story behind this. This is in 3D. It's that red and green offset panels. I would love to find this in non-3D. It's very hard for me to read these with the glasses. It's really hard to get the 3D glasses and these glasses for me to work properly. So it's a struggle, but I would really like to be able to see the artwork without the fuzziness. And then at the back of this, they took some of Steve Ditko's art from other issues, other stories, other publications, and they presented them as 3D. And so one of the ones that they have in here is Strange Suspense Stories 19. That's that famous cover with the electric chair on it. And so that's one of the ones that's presented here in 3D. I picked up All-Star Western with the Trigger Twins on it, just because I liked that cover. They're riding basically a log flume. It's some kind of log flume or aqueduct to, move the logs down to the mill or something like that. And there's the famous Trigger Twins riding it. Great cover. So here is Batman number 153. And I saw this, somebody else posted this either on Instagram or in a video recently, and I saw it and I was like, that is really cool. I want to see what that's about. So I looked for a copy. I found this one. It's got a sub crease down the middle, but it was pretty inexpensive. So I grabbed it. It's really cool because it has Batman and Robin, of course, but also Batwoman and Batgirl. And it's just that cover with that green surrounding Batman and Batwoman, and then these different colored shadows going up there, just really pulled me in. And I wanted to show you just a couple of panels in here. I haven't read it yet. I flipped through it, but here's a panel of Robin making out with Batgirl. Wouldn't expect to see that in a Batman comic, but there it is. And then look at this kind of crazy stuff going on the very next page. Okay, here they are riding some kind of crazy polka dot horse looking creature with that big reptilian tail. So some crazy stuff, Silver Age. Interested in reading that. Got a few comics to go, got some really good ones, I think, coming up. Here's Jesse James Gang number 8. And what a great cover that is. I love the masthead, the way Jesse James Gang is spelled out, the colors, the yellow on the red. It really pops. This is by Avon, right? Yeah, Avon. And then the holdup of the mail car on the train, really cool cover. So that's a neat Western that I've added to my personal collection. And again, it's got the train theme. And then this is a romance comic I've been looking for a while, and one finally became available. So I grabbed that. This is Sorority Secrets number 1. It's from Toby Press. And this is the only issue. It was going to be continued, and they didn't continue it. They had the story and art ready to go for the second issue, and they repurposed it. It's in issue number 20 of Great Lover Romance, and they stopped printing this one. And the speculation is that the reason that they did that was because they thought that there was a limited audience for this, because in 1954, there weren't as many women going to college as there are now. And so they thought there would be a really limited audience for this. And this is the only issue number 1 in the series. Here's Crime and Punishment, a Lev Gleason publication. This is number 69. It's a 10-cent comic. And look down here, one of the things there. Dope, crazy kids, and souped up hot rod means death on wheels. So there's a story in here where these two folks, he's racing another car. He's going up at 70 miles an hour, and she says, stop it, slow down. And she jumps out of the car because she thinks he's going to crash. She winds up dying of a concussion, and then he crashes into a telephone pole, and he dies too. And then 2 other people are injured. So that's a crazy story in here. And there's one other, which is really cool. It's a whodunit story. It's called Whodunit, Hot Money. It's 2 pages. So it's this page and the next page, but check this out. So when you get to the this last page, the last 2 panels on the bottom are upside down. So before you get there, it asks you, do you know how he solved the crime? And then if you flip it over and read it, you can figure out how he solved the crime. Kind of reminds me of that TV show. Did any of you ever watch the Ellery Queen Mysteries? We used to watch that, I think, on Sunday nights. When I was a kid, we'd go over to my grandmother's house all day on Sunday. We'd go to church. She'd have lunch for us after church, and then the adults would just hang out and smoke. And, we'd play games. The kids would play games. And then at night, we'd watch Walt Disney World, Mutual of Omaha, The Animal Kingdom. And I remember watching the Ellery Queen Mysteries. I think it was on Sunday nights. And then this has another story in there called Queer Money. And what queer meant in this story is counterfeit. That's what it used to mean. Okay. Last 2, and these are 2 of the bigger ones that I had. Pulled the trigger on Strange Tales, number 50. This is such a cool train cover. I love it. I have been hunting this one for a while, and I missed out on a couple of auctions, and some of the other ones that I've seen were just too expensive. They were really, really high grade. This is a VG. That's what it's listed at. And I'll tell you, one of the things I think about my comic shop is that, in my opinion, on the older stuff, they're very conservative graders. So I think this might be a VG plus or maybe a VG fine. This is a really, really nice copy. On the older stuff, the newer stuff, I think they're pretty accurate. But on the older stuff, you get into like Silver Age and Golden Age comics you pick up from them, you're usually going to be pretty pleased with them. And so here's my last one. This is my favorite one of the group, and I was really stoked to get this one. Here's Phantom Lady, number 3. This is from April 1955, 53. And this is by Ajax. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Phantom Lady with the comics code. But I love that train cover. I wanted a Phantom Lady in my collection. I wanted this one in my collection for sure, and if not another one, but definitely this one. And so this one came available, and I snatched it up right away because it was right in, the condition and price that I wanted. This is a 1.5. Now, here's some missing cover here and down here. But look at the rest of it, right? It's also a little chip up there on the top. But the whole main image that you're looking at is there. The cover is detached at the top right here by that staple. But the whole back cover's there as well. The whole story. There's nothing missing inside. So I think that is a really nice cover for a 1.5. I'm showing this for a long time because I really like it. Phantom Lady, number 3. So if you stuck around that long, I appreciate it. And that's my haul. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time, comic addicts. Bye-bye.